What's up YouTube? Barcode here. Today I'm bringing you another Heir of Light video. Today's video is going to be about how to rune your monsters optimally. I'm also going to bring you how to do floor 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to showcase my floor 10 team. I used the same team in 8, 9, and 10. One quick note, I did a previous video on how to dodge catastrophe, which is that over a certain amount of time the tower will pretty much wipe your team automatically. You cannot dodge that anymore. It was patched in update 1.2. So I apologize for bringing that video a little bit later than I could have. I wanted people to make sure to benefit from that while they could before they fixed it, which in the video I even explained they should probably fix this because I don't think it's how it's supposed to be intended. First, just a little tip on Omen 8, 9, 10 because I get asked a lot. There's a lot of things and variety that you need to bring with your team if you want a 100% auto team. If you manual it, you can do it multiple different ways, but when I'm farming, I don't want to manually do it every time just because I have other things to do. So, a couple things to note. I'll go over the skills of the dragon and the tower first, and then I'll during the fight I'll kind of explain my team. So the dragon, Calamity, after your team uses 10 skills, he does an AoE hit that hits very hard. This will not kill your team, it'll lower it to at least 1 HP, but when this dragon brings multiple damage over time spells, one tick after that and your team is dead. So what you want to think about is an attack break maybe, or an AoE glancing buff for your team, or a glancing debuff on the enemy, or an AoE defense buff for your team. Another spell the dragon does is it attacks the farthest enemy away and also deals damage over time. So when you think about this, you need your healer to have a lot of survivability, HP, and defense, and also high resistance, so she doesn't, or he or she doesn't get that damage over time debuff on them. Because after Calamity hits and you have a damage over time, you will die in 1 tick. This is another damage over time, so again, your team should have pretty decent high resist. Same thing here, defense break to all enemies. If you resist at least just 1 defense break, it will drop off, and then it's only a level 1, so it'll go back to level 1. If you don't have high resist and somebody takes this multiple times, get a defense break of a level 3 on your healer or your ranged DPS, and then he does the Winnowing of Despair or the Calamity, you're going to get hit very hard or possibly die. So for the tower has a hit that hits nearby enemies, so I like to bring like an all-range team, just so it's one less person to get hit. But a lot of people bring maybe Bjorn or something like that with a tank, so that makes 2 enemies that get hit. So you want to think about that when you're building your team. Another damage over time, again you want high resistance. Increases boss's attack level for 120 seconds. And this will stack if you don't strip it. So what I like to do is bring like Ishmael's his strip, so he can strip that attack buff off of the team, off of the enemy anyway. This removes 1 debuff on the boss, which that's why dot teams are pretty much preferred most of the time, because you would need multiple defense breaks for your burst team to work. Again, Dark Dunkel Hound, and then like a normal DPS usually has a defense break, but again, if you don't have defense break and the dragon resists, you're not doing much damage. And then there's catastrophe, which cannot be dodged anymore. So let's get this run started. So what I use currently is Ishmael with his taunt defense buff. I also use his AoE team glancing buff, which also strips the enemy of the attack buff. And I use his shield that also leaves a level 3 attack break on the boss. Water Lucian has a level 5 dot on her first skill, which is huge. She also has an AoE heal over time, which whoever's under attack gets cleansed of any debuffs, so a great monster to have. As you can see, I'm only running on auto level 2. I don't use ultimates because I want heals to be prioritized. I want dots to be prioritized. None of my ultimates hit very hard, so I don't want to use that. The only ultimate that would benefit my team here is Water Lucian's, and she has a level 5 speed buff for the team. Like Moria, I do want to replace her eventually with either Water Torhino, like Dunkelhound, someone of that nature that has a damage over time on her first skill, because Ishmael already has an attack break, but which is nice with Light Moria. If you don't have Water Torhino or Light Dunkelhound, I would prefer Light Moria. A lot of people use Water Moria because she has a damage over time on her first skill, but like Water Moria doesn't have a AoE glancing buff when you heal, so I like Light Moria over Water Moria. So like I said, the heal, her first skill does an attack break which stacks with Ishmael's, which makes it a level 5. Her heal at max heals for over 50%, and it also does a AoE glancing buff for your team, which also matches with Ishmael's, which makes it a level 5, so it's huge. And then there's Fire Laura, which everyone knows. I have her max skilled, high accuracy. I have her not on a speed HP build, I have her on triple HP. The main reason for that is when I found to have her on speed HP, her skills will be up all the time, and they still are now because I have decent speed subs on her. But they would just be sitting there for a while, and that's because I have Light Moria on speed, because I need that to be on speed. She's my healer. Water Lucian I have on speed because she's great on speed as well, to have the heal over time. So I actually slowed down Fire Laura, and it actually seemed to work a little bit better for me. So as you can see, during this video, I had the level 5 attack buff a lot, at least a level 3 or level 2 at all times, because I have high accuracy. I have decent resist on everybody. I want more resist and more accuracy on all my monsters, even my tank, so that he can land debuffs, strip the attack buff, etc. So this is actually a little bit slow for me. If all the damage over times land, I do get between 215 to 230, but again, on auto, you can't really help it, and my Water Lucian isn't max skilled, so her first skill doesn't hit every single time. So, okay, pretty decent 5-star rune anyway. I'm going to keep it because it has speed, effect accuracy, and HP on it. 3 good substats for a box skill rune, and if speed and accuracy hit, or speed and HP, it doesn't really matter. I could use it on actually someone on this team, Fire Laura, or I could use it on Light Moria or even Water Lucian. So pretty decent rune for a 5-star. Typically, for me personally, I don't keep a lot of the 5-star runes because I'm in floor 10. I want to maximize my team, and 6-star runes drop here, so I want to get as many 6-star runes as possible. But if it's anything on slot 1, slot 3, or slot 5, I will keep a 5-star rune, because this primary stat isn't really focused on those runes. It's mainly substats, and these are pretty decent substats, so I'll just keep this rune. So today, this video mainly is going to be about how to rune your servants optimally. What I personally do, now I don't have free rune removal day anymore, so I can't really show you how it's done specifically. But what I like to do is, if I have a monster that I want to rune up from the get-go, let's go to my barracks and find somebody that I might want to rune up or something like that. Let's just do Light Mary is fine. Okay. So what I like to do is I look at the skills first and the base stats. Okay. So Water Mary has a defense break, okay, an attack buff for herself, and her ultimate removes all debuffs on allies and lands a level 4 damage over time. Pretty good skill set, and this was the last mass invasion, so everyone has her. She can be useful in floor 10 depending on your team, So she has removing all debuffs from your team, damage over times, defense breaks. So you want to run her fast as possible to hit that ultimate. Okay. So when you think about that, you want to run her fast. You want her to be accurate with the damage over time and the defense break. So eruption for speed, and then skill for the debuffs. You could run eruption blade if you want to just make her like a straight nuker, which she has her own self attack buff, so that wouldn't be a bad idea as well. And for me, I would probably run on blade as well, but I'm just giving you different reasons of what to think about when you build your team. Then you want to look at the stats after you look at the skills. So she's only level 5, so I can't display what she is at level at 6-star. I meant not level 5, but 5-star, you know. So 6-star, so she has high base attack, low defense. She does have low speed, you know, it's over 100, so it's okay. Anything under 100, I wouldn't recommend running Eruption, because Eruption goes by your base speed. So you pretty much, if you're gonna run Eruption, make sure the base speed is over at least 100, so you get the most benefit from it. If it's under 100, then you might want to run something like Beast or Havoc, or you know, one of those things. So that's what we're gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run Eruption Blade on her. Now I don't have very good hand-me-down runes because all my other monsters are runes, but I'm gonna show you what I do typically on a free rune removal day. Or if not, you can do it this way as well, so you don't waste money or waste gold. So if you know you're running Eruption or any 4 set, you want to find your best 4 sets of that. Your 2 set that can be after Eruption, you don't necessarily have to do a 2 set. You can do a broken rune set. You can have 1 blade rune and 1 skill rune. Yes, you don't get the benefit of a second skill set, but it's not about these bonus sets. It's about overall stats. So I will run her Eruption first. And what I want to look for is, first I'm going to run and look for your 2, 4, and 6 slots first. Reason being is if you don't have good runes for those slots, then maybe you want to think about that second, you know, set first, and then fill that 2, 4, 6 slot in, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I have a 6 slot HP percent rune, has, you know, high crit, high speed, high accuracy. So I could use that. I also have an attack rune, but there's no speed on it. I could enhance it to +12, hopefully get some speed. So we can go with that. I kind of want her to hit a little hard, but for me, I kind of want that damage over time to land, and she's mainly for the AoE cleanse for your team. So I could run her on attack, but I also could run her on HP just for survivability, and I think I will do that just because there's speed and high accuracy. So I just mentally take a note that slot 6 is going to be full. I have a crit damage of slot 4. Now it wouldn't really work well with an HP slot, so then you think about, okay, maybe I should use the attack rune, because the only thing I can use in here is a slot for crit damage. Okay, but then you look at all of your runes in general in the 4 slot. I only have a slot 1, a slot 4, a slot 5, and a slot 6. So that means I don't have a slot 2 for Eruption. So I know that I'm gonna have to get that speed somewhere, the speed slot 2 somewhere else. So I want to look for, let's just go, I'm gonna make her, with the runes I have now, I'm just gonna make her a tanky, make sure to land debuffs, etc. type of monster. Okay, so high speed, high HP, equip that. I'm gonna equip this HP rune, has high, low speed, but effect actually crit rate. Okay, now I'm gonna save this crit damage just because I don't know. I have to use it because but I want to make sure I get at least decent crit rate on it. Depend on what other runes I can use. I have a speed attack crit rate here, and there's nothing really else that is decent, so I'm just going to use that. And then I will put this crit damage on. Yes, I have HP in slot 6, but with the crit damage, if I get high crit, she still hit pretty decent. And I have, you know, a decent attack sub here, and if I can get high crit, high accuracy, and speed in these 2 slots, I will do that. So after I equip my 4-slot rune set, then I want to look at my overall stats again. So I see the crit is low, and I'm on a crit damage build on slot 4. So I want more crit. The accuracy is low. I want the deep damage over time to hit and land, so I need more accuracy. And I want more speed. So speed, crit, and accuracy is what I'm looking for. If I get attack subs, then, you know, that's just a plus. But if you're running crit damage and you have low crit, there's no reason to go look for attack first, because if you're not critting on a crit damage build, then there's no point to build it. So that's what I'm going to do. I know I need more crit, so I'm going to go for crit the blade set first to see what I have. I do have a slot 2 speed rune, which is what I want. I want to make sure that she's speedy, so she gets the AoE cleanse off first and foremost. So I'm just going to put this here. It doesn't have any crit rate, so I'm going to hold off on that to see what else I can get. If I did go blade, I'd want to look for the box blade, the slot 3, and see if I have any speed, crit rate, and accuracy runes. You know, that has speed and crit rate, but there's no accuracy. There's 7%. So, you know, this is pretty decent actually. There's no speed on it. I could level it up to see what it is, but I'm gonna check other runes first. Rune set. Now I could level this up. That's pretty nice what I want, but there's no crit rate on it. So then now you think about, you don't have a good second set that gives you more stats overall that you are looking for. So then go into a broken set. You know, you can have one resistance rune and one, you know, petrify rune. As long as you get more stats out of it overall, then that's what you want. So you know, if you have a lot of runes, what I always check first, if I have a lot of runes that are unused in a certain set, I'll go look in those first. Like Petrify, I have a ton of Petrify runes. I want one that has speed, crit rate, and accuracy at least, which I don't really have. I have speed and crit rate, but I don't have anything, you know, pertainingly what I'm looking for yet. Let's see, so Beast. So, yeah, that's only a 4-star rune. I've actually been selling a lot of 4-star runes lately, because I just want to optimize what my team can bring. But, you know, if it's a 1, 3, or 5 slot, like I said before, it'll matter over time about the rolls that you get in the subs, but it doesn't really matter what you get for star level. You know, this is a 4-star rune. It has 11% attack and 8% crit. Low speed, but that's because it's low rolls. But that could be decent on somebody if you're looking for attack and just crit and a slow nuker, something like that. So what I'm looking for is first a speed slot 2, since I'm going to go a broken set. Still can't find anything here. Let's go vampire, nothing there. Havoc. Speed, crit rate, high defense, high attack, no accuracy, and maybe since I'm going crit damage in slot 4, I should probably prioritize crit rate over accuracy. Even if I don't land that damage over time over on my combo ultimate skill, I have that AoE cleanse, so it can she'd still be beneficial to the team. So maybe we'll go that route. So I will go the blade set on her. I want speed in slot 2. That's my only speed blade rune, I believe. So I will get that. And then I will get, let's see, I'd like maybe this one. I think that'll be good. Decent accuracy anyway. High crit, high attack. So overall, it's not the best build for her, but with hand-me-down runes, and I have 14 other monsters ruined, this is okay. I'm not going to use her right now, but this would suffice. She has 178 speed, she has 60% crit, and she has 119% crit damage, and she's tanky. She has 1,000 overall attack, which is low, but let's see how much damage she does. And this is what I recommend that team. I don't recommend any team that uses combos on a auto team because of just the way healing works. If they prioritize heals over ultimates and change that in the coding, I would feel that that would actually work better for everyone. And maybe that should be a good recommendation to them and the developers to do, because it just doesn't make sense that a heal isn't prioritized over damage, unless it's like Mary. She has a heal over her ultimate and combo, but she also has a heal on her first skill that heals whoever's under attack. So just something to point out. So quick note, there's a lot of people that I see that ask why they can't clear a floor or something like that, and I go look at their box, and 9 times out of 10 it's always a rune problem. I would recommend watching this video, kind of seeing what you're doing wrong. Look at others in the top 100 to see what their runes look like. Typically you're never going to see flat stats on slot 2, which is right here, slot 4, which is right here, slot 6, which is right here. They're always going to be percentages unless it's a speed build, okay? Then you'll see a speed slot 2 here. You always want to look into these 1, 3, and 5 slots. Their main priority is substats. These never change. These are always consistent. Slot 5 is HP flat, slot 3 is defense flat, slot 1 is an attack flat. You always want to look at these and say, okay, what level are they at? Are they +6? Are they +9? Are they +12? How many stars are they? If you're trying to clear F7 and you have 3 to 4 star runes, you need to go back to floor 5 and farm 4 or 5 star runes. You can't just say, okay, I'm autoing floor 5 with my 3 star, 4 star runes, I should be able to farm floor 7. No, well, you have to farm that floor that you can auto efficiently until you get better runes. I always see, tanks take most of the damage. If your tank dies, your team dies, okay? And then they're like, well, I can't clear this floor, and then I go look at the tank and they have a +9 defense slot here, a +12, and then like a +6, and it's like, okay, well, you can improve your servant just by leveling your runes. Or they're not awakened in their first awakening, they get a stat boost on their base stats. So you need to make sure they're at least awakened once, and also level these to at least +12. I know the biggest argument I get is, well, it's only a 3-star, 4-star rune. I'm trying to farm for 5 stars and I can't do it. I don't want to level up this rune to a +12 or a +15. Well, why not? Yeah, you're wasting gold if you level it, but you can easily farm gold in this game. And the best way is farming for new runes in the floor that you can auto, and selling the bad ones and keeping the good ones. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this video helps anyone who's having trouble optimally ruining your team. Again, if you want to look at base stats, you want to look at the skills overall of the servants, and then you need to figure out if you want to use a 4 set or a 2 set and build the 4 set first. Optimize your runes, level them up, and you can be successful at this game. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.